All right, we're here. It's officially the offseason. It's officially rumor season. Jump right into it. Logan Murdoch of The Ringer was on the Zach Lowe show, also of The Ringer. And he mentioned that the Warriors might be interested in bringing in Derrick White. Verbatim, the quote was another guy for the Warriors to look at going forward is Derrick White. I think that's something the Warriors are looking at right now. That's somebody who can play defense, can settle everyone down, especially if you have a younger group like that. Then Zach Lowe came back with, I've talked about how depressing trading Derrick White would be for Boston. And that sort of dilemma they face now in terms of how much of a reset do they really want to have and who do they want here when Tatum comes back, who has trade value in the interim and where Derrick White fits into that conversation. I have said multiple times, you do not trade Derrick White. I think the Celtics have not wanted to trade Derrick White for a while now, though that was before the Tatum injury. And I don't think much of what the Warriors could give back could make sense, especially considering the Warriors don't have cap space. And so you'd have to bring a third team involved just to clear salary if you made a trade with the Warriors. So there's lots to look at. We can look at actual trades they potentially could make, and then we can go from there. But the Warriors might be interested in Derrick White.
They can be interested all they'd like. I just don't think it's going to happen. You said it. I agree. I think the Celtics will be looking to trade just about everybody that's not Derrick White. Derrick has just been too important to what they've done over the last couple seasons while also making money that the team would still want to pay. Like, his contract is awesome. He's making what, like a little less than 30 a year? That's fantastic.
28-1, yeah.
28-1 for an all-defensive player who's also a sniper. Sign me up. Why would you ever move off of that? Especially within the constraints of this second apron where you're trying to make the most of every dollar you spend. You're on, like, that would be like if we were sitting here like, what if they traded Peyton Pritchard? Like, yeah, they really want to move off the guy that's giving them 6 Man of the Year production on an $8 million contract. It just doesn't make any sense for Boston to be really interested in that, unless they got this Godfather offer. Unless it was $1 billion like assets, draft picks, that the players they got in return were comparable, or it was something they could sell the fan base on. Also, there's the layer of this that Derrick White is maybe Jason Tatum's best friend on the team. Like, they get along extremely well. Every time they are up at the podium together, it's really good chemistry. They enjoy, like, clearly have a good relationship. If you're trading away who seems to be Tatum's best friend, that's not a move you want to make with him on the sidelines. He's coming back to just not even having one of his better friends on the team. It's outrageous.
Listen, on top of that, the return you would get back for Derrick White, in theory, right, would be a lot of picks. And this would be an offseason trade. So let me pull it up to show you exactly what would be happening here. If we did want to talk about it exclusively, like, oh, well, at least like what could they get, or like what could it be? Here, this is what it could be. Let's put it in the trade. Shout out Spot Track Trade Machine. We're gonna become good friends over the summer, right? Derrick White to the Warriors. You know, let's actually reset. Let's add a third team, Sam. What third team do you want to add? Who has cap space? Let's bring the Nets into things. Yeah, but the Pistons are going to want to use their cap space for good, not for evil. The Nets will want to use theirs for evil. So let's bring the Nets into it, right? And let's operate in the 25-26 year, because that's when the trades are going to be made in the calendar year, likely post. That's when the Celtics are going to have to trade pretty much post draft, right? So Derrick White will go to the Warriors in this case. Celtics will probably want back Pajemski and Moses Moody, right? If you're Boston, you probably want back those two guys, younger guys. See what you can get out of them. Send Buddy Hield to Brooklyn to make that make sense. And then we'll just have Brooklyn, send out seconds that these will be like fake seconds. They'll be like, oh, these are like top 55 protected. You know what I'm saying? Just for the sake of moving things. The Celtics would have to send a fake second to Brooklyn because everyone has to send everyone something. And then what's failing right now? It's because the Nets are acquiring too much money, which I think they're going to have cap space. So that doesn't make a ton of sense. So maybe you ignore that for now. Nets are going to have cap space, so that they should be able to take. So this should work, because I think the Nets will take Buddy Hield into their cap space in this case. So at this point, the Warriors will have to give up picks, right, for Derrick White. So it'd be what, like 29, 31 maybe? And you take a chance on those?
Yeah.
And so you get Moody, Pajemski at 29 and 31 for Derrick White. That doesn't seem very good. And for all the people who inevitably will say, well, get Jonathan Kuminga, sign and trade. You can't do a sign and trade if you're over the second apron. You want to know what's worse? You can't do a sign and trade if you're over the first apron. The
Mm.
Celtics will not be able to do sign and trades. It is out of the realm of possibility. They're not. They're barely going to be able to get under the second apron. That's their current fight. You want to get under the second apron or the first apron? I mean, it's not going to happen. Listen, I like Pajemski. I like Moody. I like the chance you could take on those first round picks in a couple years when Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler retire. I said it yesterday. I'm going to keep saying it all summer. You don't trade Derrick White and Jaylen Brown when you have a healthy Jason Tatum coming back in a year. It is so unbelievably short sighted. You can compete for championships if you have those three guys on the roster. I don't care what the rest of the cast looks like. And especially if the cast is going to include a Peyton Pritchard type, where you have an automatic elite six man or good quality starter. You don't trade that when you have it. It doesn't make sense to me.
I agree. I think the return that Jack concocted, kind of nice. Those draft picks could be really valuable when the time comes. The young players you get back have somewhat of a proven track record. It's not a perfect one. Moody had moments this season where he was good for the Warriors off the bench. Pajemski had that really solid rookie season last year, really didn't take much of a jump this year that people would have hoped he would have taken. So it's not like you're getting nothing burgers back, but when you consider that you're losing Derrick White and all the things that we mentioned earlier about like that contract is worth every penny, you are making the most out of your money with that deal. It's difficult to justify it and be like, well, like this all makes sense and can help us build a better roster. Can it? Are you going to be able to fill $28 million in cap space in a better way than Derrick White? Maybe only if you hit on both of those draft picks, and those draft picks are like in the top 5. And that those are a lot of ifs to be giving up something that's
A
guaranteed.
lot of ifs. A lot of ifs. It just doesn't make sense, man. Derrick White is the best or one of the best role players in the NBA. He's on a steal of a contract for as much as a steal can be at $28-30 million a year. He's going to have a chance to improve even more next season with the ball in his hands more, develop as a primary, secondary scoring option on some nights full time. He is one of the best defenders in the NBA. Like for as good as Pajemski and Moses Moody are, like can they reach those heights? Maybe, but are you really trading a perennial or a almost always all defensive candidate for something you don't really know what's going to happen? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I like Pajemski a lot. I like Moody a lot. I think they both made strides this year. It's just I'm gonna keep going back to this all summer, man. And I just said it 2 minutes ago. You don't trade pieces of a championship team because a top guy's hurt 1 year, right? Is there a chance Jason Tatum doesn't come back fully healthy and he isn't the same self? Yes. If you look at the track record of Achilles recovery, Kevin Durant recovered fine. A lot of these players recovered fine, and they were a lot older than Jason Tatum, who has been the beacon of health, who has been the poster child for always recovering quickly throughout his entire career. An ankle sprain. I know that's as far away from an Achilles as you can possibly be. He came back in one game from an ankle sprain. He came back like years ago from all these injuries he's dealing with, and he doesn't sit. He plays through stuff, right? Like, I'm not saying he's going to play through this, but if you ever want a guy who's probably going to be okay recovering from major injury, you built him in Jason Tatum. Mikal Bridges might be the only other guy who, yeah, he'll be fine, right? You don't trade Derrick White and Jaylen Brown when you know you're going to have a top 5 player coming back after 1 year absence, especially not for draft picks where are you going to have a chance that they're top 5? Yes. Right. Like not only is it like it's like a threefolded. Is there a chance it's top 5? Yes. Is there but you also have to hit on the lottery. Is there a chance you hit on the lottery? Yes. But then you also have to hit on the draft pick. Like you have to go through like 3 different sets of hoops for those to pan out. And you won't know any of that until like 4 years down the line when the player develops, right? And at that point, you're just wasting years of Jason Tatum's prime. And I think that should be the biggest goal for the Celtics right now is whatever we do, don't waste Jason Tatum's prime when he gets back, right? And I think trading Derrick White would be part of wasting his prime.
It definitely would. In fairness to you, Tatum's ankle and his Achilles geographically actually are pretty close. Just
Sure.
the magnitude of the injuries, not nearly similar at all. Listen, you can't mess around with this. I think this is a crucial window for the Celtics to hit on the moves they make. They have moves they have to make. And so everything here is very high stakes because it could make or break Tatum's prime, as you said. And you can't really guarantee you're going to have another Tatum anytime soon. So you got to make the most of them.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Let us know what you think about Derrick White down below. Let us know what you think about this trade rumor down below. I assume we're going to have a lot of angry Celtics fans, which is going to be a staple of the summer. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it very much. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment, tell us what you think of the possibility of Derrick White being traded. Go ahead and subscribe. We're here every single day with new content, too. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the one after each game. And other videos in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. Again, subscribe. We're here through it all. You can find us on Spotify and Apple. All pods and recaps are up there, so if you just want those, go ahead and follow. They will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. The email inbox has been popping since the season ended, so we appreciate everyone that's been sending them in. We'll be reading them later today as you hear this, so if you have any other thoughts to get them in, hbtcpod@gmail.com. You can follow our socials at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All the streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's JacksOneNBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.